All right, welcome here to another edition of Instigator Mick. Of course, I am currently now your three-time MSP champion for this season. You know, I've won it three times this season. 3 weeks I won it this year. 2 times in a row now. So I've won the last 2 times as well. But all right, enough of that. We got a locked in show tonight. Busy one tonight. It's championship week around college football. It's also week 13 across the NFL. Also, Duke plays at 9:15, so they're like about 45 minutes away from tip off here. So, should be a good one tonight. Duke versus Arkansas, first ever ACC SEC challenge. But yep, I once again won MSP for the second straight week, but I finally got back in the win column in the college football picks too. I finally beat Max. Goodness, I thought for sure he was going to catch up to me, but nope. I came up big, last week. And also, so I won this week. Well, speaking of college football, let's get right into this week. This week is conference championship games. So pretty much this is the last week before we finally reveal like which teams will make the playoffs. So yeah, whoever wins these conference championship games pretty much has a good chance of making the playoffs, like the Power Five wise, But all right, without further ado, let's get in the first game here. It's the Conference USA Championship game. That is Friday night at 7:00 on CBS Sports Network. It is New Mexico State and Liberty. This game will be played on Liberty University's campus because some of these conference championship games are played on campus sites. So yeah, so Liberty will be the home team. They are undefeated this year. We're haven't talked about these group of 5 teams, but Liberty's undefeated. They're 12-0. Meanwhile, New Mexico State 10-win season though. They did beat Auburn this year. This one's kind of a tough one, but I'm gonna have to go with Liberty. The undefeated Liberty Flames. They're gonna stay undefeated. They'll win the Conference USA Championship this year, and they got the home field advantage, so they'll win. I got them over New Mexico State for sure. But all right, this next one's really going to impact the playoff implications. The Pac-12 championship game. That's also Friday night. It's at 8:00 on ABC. Washington and Oregon, top 5 matchup here. You got Washington number 3, and then you got Oregon at number 5. So Oregon have won the loss. They can't afford the loss here. They got to win this if they want to make the playoffs. Meanwhile, Washington, their chance, they feel like they have a good shot making, even if they lose, maybe, but maybe not. Because there are a lot of one-loss teams in theirs. But this one really I had trouble picking all week. I really had trouble with this one. I'm going to take Washington again. I'm going to have to go with Washington again. I don't know why. I thought Oregon, they've been playing good football, but I just don't know. Michael Penix comes up clutch again, just like he did last time against Oregon. I think he's going to have another game-winning touchdown or something like that. I got Washington over Oregon. They're going to beat them twice. It's hard to beat a team twice, but I just like Washington this one for some reason. The Huskies will win the Pac-12 championship, and they will make the playoffs. I don't care, Ohio State University's out. Maybe. I'd say there's a good chance they probably not might make it because depending on how these championship games play out, because they're like 4 undefeated teams right now that are holding the playoff spots, and one could go down, but they also battle like teams if Oregon wins, that would really hurt Ohio State too. So I doubt. Yeah, I'd say Ohio State pretty much out of it. That after the loss to Michigan. But yeah, I think Washington makes the playoffs though. All right, now let's move on to Saturday's games now. The Big 12 championship game. Oklahoma State and Texas. This game is played, at AT&T Stadium. Hopefully the Dallas Cowboys. Obviously the Pac-12 championship games play at the Raiders Stadium in Vegas. There'll be 2 games played at that stadium. We'll get in that later. But yeah, Texas, meanwhile, they're trying to keep their hopes alive. They're right now number 7 in the college football playoff rankings right now. And if they win this one, they could sneak in there. You never know. It could be a lot of chaos. It's really going to come down to it. But, Oklahoma State's had a weird season this year. They've had bad losses and good wins. You just don't know with them. But I'm going to take Texas in this one. I think Texas is going to have a 12-win season. I think they will win the Big 12. They just need a lot of help, it feels like, if they want to make the playoffs. If you're a Longhorn fan right now. I'll take Longhorns. They'll win the Big 12 this year. Now let's move on to another group of 5 teams. Here we go. The MAC championship game. This game is played in Detroit. It is Miami, Ohio, and Toledo. Both teams are having great seasons. Miami, Ohio is 10-2. Meanwhile, Toledo is 11-1. That's my cousin Nick's alma mater. He's a Toledo. Yep. He's a Toledo Rocket. Yep. He's an MSU fan, but that's where he went to school. Toledo was a school. But who I like in this one? Toledo. I think Toledo looks like they've been the better team all year. They're more experienced team. Not just because they're really good. They are defending MAC champs. They'll repeat against a really good Miami Ohio team, but they'll win. They will find a way to win this one. They'll win the MAC for the second year in a row. So give me the Rockets in this one. Now the Mountain West Championship game. It's Boise State and UNLV. This will be played at the Raiders Stadium because UNLV has their college games there, like their home games there. So it's like pretty much technically a campus site game, but it's also kind of like a neutral. Like not really. It's mostly like a home game. So I got to take UNLV. I got the Rebels over the Boise State Broncos. I got UNLV. Boise's been a powerhouse to the Mountain West, but I like UNLV. Oh, me, I'm wearing Duke stuff. Oh, yeah, because they're playing. I think they're playing tonight at 9:15. Big basketball game for Duke. So, yeah, they got Arkansas. It's a big one. Like for chances of their turn, like getting seed as high as number 1. So that's a big matchup tonight. That'll be on ESPN. Like shortly, once I'm done with my show, I'll be watching Duke tonight. Oh, Devils! I hope they beat Arkansas tonight. Yeah, back to it. I got UNLV in this one. Let's move on to the SEC championship game. This, where College Game Day will be at. This is in Atlanta. I mean, Georgia got the nation's longest winning streak and the most winning streak in SEC history. So they have made some history. But they're trying to go for the 30th straight win this season. The last time they lost the game was to Alabama a couple of years ago, around this time. So, I don't know. This one I really had trouble picking because it feels like if I pick one against the other, I picked against them. I got to pick against both these teams in the regular season. I lost that, but this one I had trouble. One of them is going to lose, and I'm going to have to go upset on this one. I'm going to go Alabama. I think Georgia is due to lose, just like a couple of years ago. They last lost to Alabama. It's going to happen again. Alabama wins the SEC. They could find their way in the SEC championship game if they win this one. I really think there's no doubt about it. They should be in if they win this one. This would create a lot of chaos if Alabama wins one. That's why I like hearing about this, seeing chaos in the playoff rankings. So I'm going to go Bama over Georgia. That winning streak that Georgia has 29 straight, it's going to end this weekend. Give me the tide this one. Now let's move on to the American Championship game, the American Athletic Championship game. It's Tulane and SMU. This is SMU's last year in that conference before they moved to the ACC. So chance to win the American Athletic Conference Championship game, But Tulane is the home team in this one because it's a campus site one. So I got to go with the Green Wave in this one. I got to go with Tulane to win the American this year. So they'll be the champs in this one, in that conference. All right, let's move on to the Sun Belt Championship game. It's Appalachian State at Troy. It's another campus site one. Troy is the host of this one. But I'm going to go upset. Appalachian State's proved they're still the Sun Belt's elite. Troy's pretty good still, too. But thinking about it, Appalachian State beat James Madison. That's a really good James Madison team they beat. They gave Carolina a hell of a game this year. I'm going to go Appalachian State wins the Sun Belt this year. So give me the Mountaineers in this one. All right. Now this is where back to the Power 5 schools, back to the big schools now. Big Ten championship game. Michigan and Iowa. This game's in Indianapolis. Who do I like in that game? I'd say Michigan again. Michigan, it's such a mismatch. Iowa's ranked, but it's such a mismatch. Their styles of football. Iowa, just a low-scoring team. And Michigan, meanwhile, just known to pummel opponents. But last week, they were in an instant classic with Ohio State. That was probably one of the best games to watch. The Iron Bowl was up there too. The Alabama-Auburn was a great one too, but that came down to the wire too. That game was another classic between those two. But Michigan, third straight year, beat Ohio State, and they're going to win their third straight Big Ten championship game. Get back to the playoffs the third year in a row. And could they possibly win a national title? We don't know. I think they're going to take care of business. Harbaugh's back on the sidelines after the suspension. But the Wolverines, they'll make it look easy. Iowa barely beat Nebraska last week. They got lucky. Iowa did, meanwhile, yeah. That was one of the wackiest college games I saw. So, yeah. I like the Hawkeyes in this one. All right. Now, the last but not least, the last championship game I'll pick here. It's not that much games this week. The ACC championship game. Florida State and Louisville. Florida State is undefeated. They are one of the top 4 teams because, this is the last year where 4 teams make the playoffs and all that. So, what I like in this one, I think Florida State gets it done. They're going to take care of business. They're going to maybe find their way in the playoffs. I don't know. I'm just interested how the chaos unfolds. It depends how the committee selects on Sunday, but I think Florida State finishes undefeated and wins the conference. Some people might not like it. Who knows what they're going to think if Alabama beats Georgia. with the resumes and all that. That's the biggest thing is the resumes and the stats and all that. But I got the Noles. Louisville is their first AC championship game, but just yes, Florida State was out Jordan Travis, but I think they'll find a way to get it done. They'll finish the job that Jordan Travis already started, did most of the work, and teams got to step up for him while he's out for the season. So the Noles will win that one. All right, let's see if I can make it 3 weeks in a row of winning MSP. Let's go by NFL picks here. All right, starting with tomorrow's Thursday night game. The Seattle Seahawks at the Dallas Cowboys. The spread is 6.5. Favored by the Cowboys. They touchdown favorite pretty much because 6.5, against Seattle at home. Both these teams played on Thanksgiving last week. Seattle got beat by the Niners. Meanwhile, the Cowboys dominated Washington. But I'm gonna take the Dallas Cowboys, and this will be my pick of the week. I'm gonna go with the Cowboys. My pick of the week, 2.5 points. I think they're gonna cover. I remember my one buddy Max Yard said it could be closer than expected, which it could, but I just trust my gut. I'm gonna go with the Cowboys defense. They're just gonna run all over the Seahawks. Plus, I hate Seattle, so I gotta go with the Cowboys. This one, pick of the week, right there. All right, the LA Chargers at the New England Patriots. The Chargers are favored by 3.5 on the road in Foxborough. Patriots having a really bad year. They lost to the Giants, missing a chance to go to overtime. They missed a field goal. It was not even close. It went way wide left, not even close to the goal post or anything like that. So it was a bad kick. Meanwhile, the Chargers came off a tough loss to the Baltimore Ravens on Sunday Night Football. I think the Chargers get back on track this week. They'll cover the 3.5 point spread and just dominate New England pretty much. New England's going to get another loss. Pretty much go to 2-10 or something like that. Yeah, they're going to be bad. So I got the Chargers winning on the road in this one. All right, next, the Detroit Lions at the New Orleans Saints. Oh, I got my first call of the night. Here we go. Hello?
Hello, how are you?
Feeling good.
The Patriots are in the playoffs.
Pretty much. I mean, after missing a game-winning chance to go to overtime last week.
And do you know who else is eliminated?
Who?
The Panthers.
Panthers, that's right. And they got rid of their coach this past week. So, yeah. So, Frank Reich, I mean, yeah, that's right. For 1 year, he gets fired already.
How do you think about Joe Brady?
I think he still did a great job. I still think he did a great job despite the loss. I mean, Josh looked like he's still Josh. I mean, to be honest with you.
Do you think we keep Joe Brady? Do you think we have Joe Brady as head coach?
Possibly. I mean, McDermott is terrible. McDermott is part of the reason why he lost, I think, on Sunday.
And did you see my Pro Bowl voting video yesterday?
I think I was at hockey yesterday when it was going on.
I voted for Pro Bowl yesterday.
See, Diggs is on there.
Yeah, I voted for. You know who I voted for?
Diggs was one of them.
I voted for Allen.
Yeah, he definitely looks like a Pro Bowl quarterback. Now that last two performances he's had, he's going to continue that after the bye week when we go to Kansas City next week.
What was your message to people who are saying the playoffs are dead for the Bills?
Like I said, it's going to be a tough stretch to get to the playoffs, but I believe this team can do it. I mean, feels like it can compete with anyone.
Is Henry going to run the tables?
I really think so. I think we're going to run the table starting in Kansas City.
Do you think it's going to be close against Kansas City?
I think so. I think we might actually pull it off.
We might even. I might be crazy, but I think we could blow out Kansas City.
I mean, yeah, the Chiefs kind of look a little bit fraudulent this year. They look like kind of frauds this year.
You know what Mahomes wants his wide receivers to get for Christmas?
What?
He wants them to get Spider-Man gloves.
Oh my goodness.
What is that? Pole's favorite?
Bills.
You know what the North Pole's favorite NFL team is?
Who is it?
Santa Fiasco 49ers.
Interesting.
Santa Fiasco 49ers. Same feelings to be the Mac.
All right, see ya.
Go Bills.
Go Bills. All right, now let's get back to my picks here. Let's get back to it. Detroit Lions at the New Orleans Saints. The spread is 2.5 favored by Detroit. Tough loss to the Lions on Thanksgiving last week. They cost me my pick of the week, but it all worked out for me because I still won it. I still won the week last week, despite losing my pick of the week. But I'm gonna still go with Detroit. They'll cover the spread. New Orleans, there's an up and down team, and the Lions are gonna get back on track after a tough loss last week to the Green Bay Packers. That was a tough loss to them. I think they'll win in New Orleans this week. The Lions will. They'll at least cover the spread, but they'll probably do more than just covering the spread. They'll probably blow them out. I'll be honest with you. The Saints, the Saints will keep it in there, but I don't know. The Saints look, there's like up and down. They're not that great because that whole division's terrible. So give me Detroit in that one. All right, the Atlanta Falcons at the New York Jets. The Falcons are 1.5 point favorites. I mean, Falcons come off a big divisional win over the Saints. Currently tied first with the Saints, but they own the tiebreaker because I think they haven't lost a division game yet. That's right, they haven't lost a division game yet this year. So the Falcons are really looking good. They're controlling their destiny to win the NFC South this year. Meanwhile, the New York Jets got their asses handed to on the first NFL Black Friday game this past Friday against the Dolphins. They got destroyed badly. I mean, God, their quarterback threw a 99-yard pick six from the goal. I mean, they're at the goal line, he throws it, and all of a sudden, not from the goal line, but like a Hail Mary, and that was so bad. I mean, that was so bad by the Jets. So yeah, he throws a pick six. And that's pretty much how the Jets lost last week, that game. They got their ass kicked by the Dolphins. But I'm going to take the Falcons. It might be another blowout, maybe not, but the Falcons will win this one. They just look better than Jets for sure. And that's for damn sure. It doesn't matter if it's Tim Boyle or Zach Wilson who's the quarterback. The Jets suck. Let's just face it. Falcons are actually going to pick them to win this one. But all right, let's move on to another 1 o'clock game. The Arizona Cardinals at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers are favored by 3.5 at home. Like I said, right now, I'm going to tell you this. There's a good chance. Someone I know is going that game. I think Max Garvin is here. We gave all our Thanksgiving leftovers to the Jets. That is a fact. Because Tim Boyle. That's right, Tim Boyle, Aaron Rodgers. Oh, my God. That's a good one. That's a good one, kid. That is actually a good one. Oh, my God. The Jets are not that good. They got 4 Packers players. They're just not the same. Being honest, Rodgers couldn't hang around for 5 snaps. He only played 4. All right, so yeah, my buddy Max Graham could be at this game, so he'll probably send me a lot of pictures, because he's already been to one with me, but he's gonna go. Could be there Sunday. But the Cardinals, meanwhile, they got their rear ends kicked last week by the Rams, and the Steelers, meanwhile, their offense looked better. This is the first time they put up 400 yards total offense for the first time in 3 years against the Bengals. That's an impressive win by them. But I'm gonna take the Steelers. They'll cover the 3.5 point spread. Plus Arizona sucks. Even if Kyler Murray's back, Arizona's not that good, especially going on the road now on the East Coast. So I got the Steelers in this one for sure. The Indianapolis Colts at the Tennessee Titans. The Colts are now holding on to a playoff spot right now. The Colts are holding on to it right now. The Titans, not that great this year. They still got Derrick Henry. Will Levis is just not the guy. He's doing all right, but just the Titans not that good of a team this year. They did get a win over the Panthers. Then again, it's the Panthers they won. So the Colts are favored by 1.5 on the road. They'll win this one. Part of me doesn't even though I had to pick them in my head, not my heart, but still at the same time, I kind of want the Titans to win just to help the Bills in the standings because we're bad with the Colts for a playoff spot. We'll get in the Bills in a little bit once we talk about, But I got the Colts this one. Next, Miami Dolphins at the Washington Commanders. The Dolphins are 6.5 point favorites on the road in Washington. So this is an easy pick. I'm going to go with the Dolphins one because after the display we saw from Washington on Thanksgiving last week, especially where the Dolphins dominated the Jets, it could be another one of those type of games where defense dominates Washington this one again. Something like that, but also the Dolphins do put up a lot of points. Then again, Dolphins do better against teams with losing records instead of teams with winning records. That's their problem this year. So that's an easy pick. I'll take the Dolphins as one. But this next one right here, Denver Broncos and Houston Texans, this is a tough pick. I mean, because these are both teams are like playing really good football. Like that surprised you this year. They've been surprising teams. Denver's on a hot streak right now. They've won like 5 straight. They were 1-5. Now they were 6-5 in a big one, battling for a playoff spot with the Texans. This is in Houston. The spread is 2.5 favored by the Texans. I was mixed emotions picking one of these. I kept going back and forth. But I'm going to take the Denver Broncos. They look like, C.J. Stroud's great for the Texans, but the Broncos have more weapons, I feel like, in this one. I like Denver for some reason. They've been really just impressing me as of late. Much the way they dominated the Browns last week. And the week, when they beat the Bills too, and they beat like the Chiefs and all that. They've had some impressive wins. So I'm going to take the Broncos as one. I think they're more just impressive. I think Russell Wilson might be back, but not as good as he used to be. But I think he's in crunch time. You always rely on him. It feels like you're Denver at this point. He's done well with it. So I'll go with Denver in this one. This one, I'm not a fan of picking NFC South games here. Carolina Panthers at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Buccaneers are favored by 5.5. Panthers, worst record in the NFL, just fired their head coach this past week. And the Buccaneers, meanwhile, keep coming up close, losing close games. They'll win this week. They'll cover the spread. They will beat the Panthers. Panthers are just a trash-fired poverty franchise. I'll go with the Bucs in this one. Now let's go on to America's Game of the Week on Fox this week, the 4 o'clock game. San Francisco 49ers at the Philadelphia Eagles. Don't even get me started on the Eagles. But all right, before I get into this, talk about this pick, let's go on a little rant about that game last week, the Bills-Eagles game. Obviously the Bills are on this week because they got the bye week, but God, I know they say I'm going to make excuses, but it's just a fact. The referees kind of screwed the Bills. At the same time, you can blame the coaching too. McDermott cost us. There's so many things I can think about this game. Really, the most pissed off I've seen. This is just, I don't know. I'm just not happy with it. The way the game was called, it felt like they were throwing more penalties than us and the Eagles. Even though we played our asses off. I mean, it drives out some of these people, these Josh Allen here say it's still his fault. No way. Josh Allen played probably one of his best games of the entire season. Came a little bit short overtime. I know he struggles in overtime, but good God. That was one of the best games I've seen out of Josh Allen this season. Seriously, that was one of the best games I've seen out of him. And the Eagles say, oh, the refs called it fair. That's typical Eagle fans. That's the most toxic fan base in the NFL, the Eagles. I'm sick of Philadelphia fans. The way they just get so toxic about their, so obnoxious there. Goodness. These Eagles fans, these parents let their kids flip off other teams' fans. I know we're talking, I do it, but still, it's just funny to think about it. Now, Philadelphia fans are the rudest fan base in the NFL. I saw a video of this little kid flipping off a Bills fan. I kind of think it's funny at the same time, like damn, what a savage that one. But seriously, there's a lot to take out. There missed pass interference calls, a horse collar call. That's a damn horse collar. And the rest call intentional grounding instead. Come on. I've had so many I've had an argument with Dad over this yesterday. Dad thinks he's right because he knows more because he's over 50 years old. Doesn't matter. The refs made a bad call. It's a horse collar, for God's sakes. They missed a couple pass interference calls. Slade did it twice and got away with it twice. He just grabbed a little Diggs jersey, even in overtime. And Sean McDermott. Don't even get me started on McDermott. Plus, before that, there's a lot of drop passes. God. James Cook, too. There's so many drop passes in that one. What else did I can think of it? But yeah, when McDermott took that knee to send it to overtime, I was like, are you kidding me? Seriously, we had timeout. We should have gave Josh a chance to get in field goal range. We had timeout left. We still had time left. I don't care if it's 20 or 18 seconds, but good God, give them a chance. Give Josh a chance to get a game-winning drive. Set up a field goal. Come on. McDermott. This is why you should not be the head coach of this team anymore. This is why he should have been fired after this Eagles game. And Gabe Davis. Good God. Joe Brady's taking the blame for this. Come on. No, it was all Gabe Davis on that one. Josh made a great throw. Davis runs the wrong route. We should have scored a touchdown overtime. It should have been game over. But yep, that was pretty much my rant. But let's get back to this game. I'm salty enough that I'm going to pick the 49ers over the Eagles. I don't care if the Eagles have the best record in the NFL. 49ers look like the better team than them this season. So I'm going to take the 49ers, not because I'm salty, but I think the 49ers are better because the Eagles have been damn lucky every fucking game this year. So give me the Niners. Go Niners. I'm just so pissed about last week. All right. Cleveland Browns at the LA Rams. This one is kind of an interesting one. The Rams are playing better football lately. Meanwhile, the Browns, depending on how their quarterback is, Dorian Thompson-Robinson with a concussion protocol after, the loss of the Broncos. He gets injured in that game. So it's in LA. I'm going to take the Rams because we don't know the stats of the Browns quarterback. So I'm going to take the Rams because they are favored by 1.5 at home. So I'll take this one. But all right, Sunday Night Football here. Kansas City Chiefs at the Green Bay Packers. I just found out a rumor today that Taylor Swift might be at the game now. Just great. The NFL makes it about her. It's not about her. It's football, for God's sakes. It's about the players. I don't know why Taylor Swift thinks she's going to show up for that game. She'll bring all attention because it's a Sunday night game in Lambeau. Come on. The Chiefs are favored by 6.5. I'm actually going to say this, but I'm going to say the Chiefs don't cover. I'm taking Green Bay in this one. I am taking the Packers in this one. Screw the Kansas City Swifties. Seriously, screw them. Screw Kansas City. I got the Packers in upset on this one. Taylor Swift's going to bring all the attention just for the Chiefs to lose in Lambeau. In Mahomes' first appearance in that stadium. So Packers win the Frozen Tundra. Mahomes loses his Lambeau Field debut. That's how I feel on this pick. But all right, last but not certainly, it's the Monday night game. Cincinnati Bengals at the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jags are favored by 6.5. So Jake Browning at quarterback again. He looked okay, but still just not enough. I still think Jaguars win by touchdown here at home on Monday Night Football. Bengals are like the same about Joe Burrow. It's been a rough year for those guys. I'm going to have to go with the Jags. They're still right now one of the best teams in the AFC right now. But all right, that'll wrap it up here for Instigator Mick here. I'm going to get ready to watch Duke, and I'll see you all next week. Enjoy your football weekend. It's going to be kind of tough for me because the Bills on the bye week, but hey, enjoy it all. And one more thing before I go. I'm just happy to say that Virginia Tech won their game last week over UVA. They're bowl eligible, so they're going to a bowl game for the first time since the 2021 season. So hey, give credit to those players for putting up 55 points, most points scored in the series, but also give us a shout out, give us a big thank you to Max Garber for bringing my team luck for watching that game with me. Appreciate it. But all right, see you all next week for another episode of Instigator Mick next week.